This video is the 6th part of my FPV drone tutorial series. Today we are focusing on the motor. If you want to learn more about the tools and techniques I show in my videos, you can download my beginner 3D modeling ebook called Mastering Topology and Hard Surface Modeling. It includes tips and tricks to work faster and more efficiently, the most common mistakes beginners make and how to fix them, and many other helpful insights. 13 years of experience gathered in one place. The link is in the description. Let's zoom in a bit and place the 3D cursor at the center of the selection by pressing Shift S, cursor to selection. Add a 72-sided circle. Scale it down. Extrude it inward. Raise it slightly. And add a few loops using Ctrl R. Select these faces, inset them, then delete them. Add a subdivision surface modifier. Remove this edge. Add a loop cut and connect the vertices by pressing J. Move this vertex. Mirror it to the other side, then select these edges, right-click Loop Tools, Relax, and hold Shift R to repeat the last command several times until the edges form a smooth curve. Right-click Loop Tools, Space, then relax them once more. Repeat the same process on the top part. Select these faces, press Ctrl I to invert the selection, and delete the faces. Press Alt E, Spin. Enable Use Duplicates and set the value to 6. For the spin tool to work properly, the 3D cursor must be at the center of the object and you must be in orthographic view, top or front. Press M, Merge by Distance. Extrude the faces downward. Select the sharp edges and bevel them. Disable Loop Slide to get a uniform bevel. Bevel the outer edge loop. Then open the Select menu, select Loops, Boundary Loops, and bevel again. Add a loop cut, raise it slightly and bevel it. Select the middle edge loop and scale it inward, bevel the edges. Then add additional loop cuts to create more squared polygons. Bevel the inner sharp edges as well. Now duplicate these faces and press P, separate by selection. Remove these two loop cuts. Extrude inward. And add a few supporting edge loops. Select these edges and bevel them. Place the 3D cursor on this edge, add an 8-sided circle, and scale it down. Subdivide these edges and snap the vertices onto the circle. Repeat the same steps at the bottom. Then repeat the process all around the circle. Extrude along the Z-axis. Select the sharp edges and add a bevel. Select this loop, extrude it, and add another bevel. Extrude this loop inward to give the model thickness. Add support loops and bevel the sharp edges again. Select these faces and detach them using P, separate by selection. Let's create a radial array. Go to Top View, press Alt E, Spin, enable Use Duplicates and set the value to 14. Merge the vertices by distance. Extrude the faces to add thickness and bevel the sharp edges. Now let's create a really cool part. Add an Archimedean curve and adjust the parameters to create a spring shape that is thinner at the bottom. create a radial array with 14 copies. To connect them, delete a few vertices at the bottom. And repeat the same steps at the top. Continue this process until all the curves are connected. In the Object Data Properties, under the Geometry tab, increase the bevel depth. Then convert the curve to a mesh. Add loop cuts as shown on the 7 sides. Select them all. Scale outward. And bevel the edges to create a smooth transition. Extrude and close this area. Then bevel the sharp edges. Now let's model the part that makes the engine spin. Add an 84-sided cylinder, scale it down. Then add a loop cut along the z-axis. Select these faces. Extrude them and delete the center faces. Select only one part of the model. Press Ctrl-I and delete the rest. Remove these faces. Select these edges and duplicate them. This is done to keep the same thickness at the top of the model. Convert the edges into a circle, bridge them to fill the gap, and add some loop cuts. Select the border, extrude it, scale it along the x-axis, and adjust the shape slightly. Merge the edges and add loop cuts. And press GG to slide vertices along the edges. Add a bevel. Use the spin tool again to create a radial array. Merge the vertices by distance. You can press Alt-S to slightly inflate the model to make it bigger. Here, collapse and merge the vertices to reduce the poly count until the model matches the desired shape. Press Alt-J and increase the max shape angle to convert triangles into quads. Extrude. Add loop cuts. Bridge the top and bottom parts. And bevel the edges. Add a support loop in the middle. Add a 16-sided cylinder. Scale it down. Raise these vertices. And use a grid fill to close the gap. Add some support loops. Next, I modeled a hex nut. I already made a tutorial for that, so I won't cover it here. You can find the link in the description. Add a 32-sided circle. Scale it down. And add an 8-sided cylinder. Move it upward until the vertices align with the circle. Press Alt-E, spin, set the value to 4. Select both objects and press Ctrl-J to join them. Snap the vertices as shown and remove the inner vertices. press F to fill the gap, then I to inset the face. Connect the vertices. Add a vertex at the center of each edge. Select the central n-gon, inset it, and turn it into a circle using loop tools. Do the same for the smaller circles. Select only one section, invert the selection, and delete the faces. Press Alt-E, spin, enable use duplicate to detach the parts, then merge the vertices by distance. Rotate the model by 45 degrees. Extrude to add thickness. Bevel the sharp edges and add a subdivision surface modifier. Duplicate the inner polygons, scale them to match the diameter of the center cylinder. Bevel the sharp edges and add support loops. Raise these vertices to increase the thickness. Align everything properly. And close the bottom gap using rate fill. That's it for this video. In the next part, we will work on the propellers. Thank you for watching. Bye.